Yeah.
Jaikumar ji, you have brought up a very important concept of surrendering. Surrendering the ego, selfishness, and then whatever we have, surrendering. How practical it is when you go to temple. We keep praying the God, and then next is, I feel like that we're trying to bribe the God to get something out of from him. Always I was thinking that when we get, okay, let me pass this exam, let me get this job, let me get marry a nice girl, my daughter get settled. Every time we keep asking the God. What we give it to the God is, are we bribing the God to get something from God?
Right. So very important question it is. So yeah, so I seek so many things from so many people in this, in my life. Okay, I depend on so many things. And now I have one more entity called Bhagavan, God. And now God is too big compared to everybody else. And what God can give, people cannot give. And so now I better keep God in my good books.
Right. Yeah.
Better anybody can get upset with me, but if God gets upset with me, then I'm finished. Correct? This is the thinking. For a Vedanti, the thought process should change, and the prayer also will change, should change. How it should change? From I want this, I want that to saying, all along I've been saying, I want this, I want that. And yeah, sure, I'm blessed. First accept that I'm blessed. Okay. The fact that I can sit and spend some time praying itself is a big blessing. Okay. But then I have to recognize whatever I'm going to get, whatever I've got really is anityam. This body itself is anityam. I know that. Even God, you cannot protect me. How much ever I pray, you cannot prevent me from dying. The
Yes.
greatest God cannot protect the greatest devotee also. Not possible. Okay. So I have understood. Hey, Bhagavan, I understood this. Thank you for making me see that. Okay. I have come here to offer my thanks. I have not come here to get something from you. Correct? I have come here to just look at you and say, my God, this is absolutely amazing. I've got exposed to the Shastram now, and now my whole vision has changed. I've come here to thank you. I've come here to just offer myself to you. I don't want anything. You have already given me everything. Can I say that? What about my children? What about the grandchildren? My daughter is not doing well. Yeah, it's painful. But slowly I begin to bring the teachings. Bring the teachings. I'm very thankful. I am very thankful to you for giving me the capacity to bear the pain. Correct?
Yes.
You have given me the capacity to bear the pain. Pain cannot be removed from this world. The minute body is there, both good and bad, pain and pleasant, both pleasant and unpleasant will be there. I know that. A coin will have two sides. I understand that, Bhagavan. Thank you for making me understand that. Give me the capacity. Give me the shock absorbing capacity. That is what I need. That is Karma Yoga Buddhi. Give me that. If at all I want to ask you something, give me Karma Yoga Buddhi. Prayer has changed, correct? Prayer has changed. Is changing. Prayer is changing. Give me Karma Yoga Buddhi. Or I am not, I am here to thank you. I am here because I acknowledge everything I have. And I want to, in front of you, I want to acknowledge. You are my witness. I am acknowledging in front of you. Greatest prayer. Correct?
Yes.
In fact, I have so much I can start giving. Give me the capacity to give where I am supposed to give. This is a great prayer. I am always holding on to stuff. Allow me to relax. Give me the capacity to relax. Correct? A relaxed person is a happy person. I know that. I've come to, and I ought to be relaxed. I'm not relaxed. Give me the capacity to relax. If at all I want something from you, give me that capacity. Don't give me this or that. I know very well. I have understood that whatever you give me, I can be unhappy with it. Whatever you give me, and you've given me a lot, I'm still unhappy. That means I've understood. You have taught me that these things cannot really make me happy. Even though I need a lot of things, I accept that. Still, more and more is not the answer to my sorrow. Thank you for making me understand this, realize this, know this, recognize this. I have come here today to thank you for everything. Great relationship to have with Bhagavan, is it not? Now the relationship has changed. Sometimes they say, oh, my son, etc., my son. These days, my son and I are the best friends, they say. No longer son-father relationship, daughter-mother relationship. Good friends we are. Means what? The relationship has progressed, has matured. We are now equals. We are no longer, I am superior to you type of person. No, you are my equal. Mature. Relationship has matured. My relationship with Bhagavan also can mature. To a point, then what? After all this Karma Yoga Buddhi and all, what? I can come to the temple. Swami Paramarthanandaji, you know what he says? Famous statement of Swamiji. When you can go to the temple and come out without asking anything, then you are a Sthita Prajna.
That's a beautiful answer. I really appreciate it. I also remember when our great singer S.P. Balasubramaniam, every time he used to end like Sarve Jano Sujano Bhavanti, Sarve Sujano Sukhino Bhavanti. Always he used to tell that.
Correct. He used to always say that. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Correct. Yeah, SPB's attitude is very good. He had a very good attitude. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good question. Good question. Yeah. Something to think about for all of us. Yeah.
Jaykumarji, help me to remember the sloka that is Asti Bhati Priyam Bhavati. Some Panchakam and Adyatrayam.
Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Namachet Chamsha Panchakam Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam Jagad Rupam Tatodvayam. Jagad Rupam Tatodvayam.
Yeah, this is when you are explaining this pot and clay, bangle and gold. So this is what always comes to my mind, that Nama Rupa.
So Rukmini ji is talking about shloka written by Adi Shankaracharya in a text called Drik Drishya Viveka. Very important text. I've been wanting to teach that, and God willing, we'll see. And a very beautiful text. Drik Drishya Viveka means what? Drik means seer. Drishya means seen. What is seen by the seer is Drishya. And so Viveka, the discernment between the Drik and the Drishya. Body is Drishya, but I take myself to be the body. So there is that confusion between Drik and Drishya. When it comes to all the objects in the world, I'm not confused. When it comes to body, there is a confusion begins. Correct? Body is also Drishya, not Drik. So that is the idea there. So here, Rukmini ji is quoting a shloka. Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam. Asti Bhati Priyam. Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Namachetyamsha Panchakam. So there are 5 things in this world. Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Nama. Asti, existence. Bhati, consciousness shines. Okay. Satyam Jnanam, Jnanam shines. Anantam, Priyam, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Okay. And then what else? Nama and Rupa. There are only 5 things in the world, he says. Okay. Then he says, Nama Chetyamsha Panchakam. Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam. The first 3, Adyatrayam means first 3, Asti, Bhati and Priyam is Brahman. Is Brahman. Satchidananda is Brahman. Okay. And then what? Jagad Rupam Tatodvayam. This Nama Rupa, there's another word, I'll tell you what it is. It's called Jagat. It's called world, he says. The entire world is just Nama Rupa. Like pot. It's just a Nama Rupa. So, yeah, thanks for bringing that sloka up. Very beautiful.
I was not able to get that properly. I forget.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Lakshmi ji, go ahead.
Guruji, kindly repeat that sloka once again, please.
Asti bhati priyam rupam. Asti bhati priyam rupam. Nama chet. Nama chet. Amsha panchakam. Nama chet amsha panchakam. Nama chet amsha panchakam. Okay. And then Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam. Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam. The first three are nothing but Brahman, the nature of Brahma. Adyatrayam. What is Adya? What are the first three? Asti Bhati Priyam. That is what he is referring to there. Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam. Jagad Rupam Tato Dvayam. Jagad Rupam Tato Dvayam. Jagat Rupam Tato Dvayam. We'll explain that. Tato Dvayam means after the two following the three. Sanskrit is interesting. The two following the three, obviously it would follow the remaining two. Is the world. Is the world. That is the meaning.
Okay. Guruji, can you just repeat that shlokam from Kenopanishad?
Yeah.
Ihache.
Yeah. Iha ched avedit. Iha ched avedit. Iha chet avedit. Iha chet avedit. Atha satyam asti. Atha satyam asti. Satyam asti. Iha ched avedit. Atha satyam asti.
Nachet.
Nachediha vedit. Nachediha vedit. Nachediha vedit. Mahati vinashtihi. Mahati vinashtihi.
When Ramesh was talking about barter system with God, sometimes we say that we do that homam, please give us this and all those things. So the day my daughter decided that she will quit engineering and join law, from that day I decided to not to pray for her. I just said, keep her well, that's it. Because I thought she knows to pray now for herself. It was very difficult to accept, that she's quitting from a very good reputed college. But then I thought God has a different plan for her.
Correct. Correct.
So from that day, it's only thanking but it's very difficult, Guruji, to practice. So it's not easy.
So it's not easy. Not easy. Because we are conditioned to ask something. And for me and my family and for me and my family. And so we have to, that's why we stand on the shoulders of Krishna. And they say, hey Krishna, you make it easy for me. Whatever you said just now is difficult. You make it easy for me. That becomes my prayer now. Teach me what I should pray for.
Yes.
I am praying for Anityam. Teach me to pray for Nityam.
Nityam.
I've been praying for impermanent things all the time. And I've been a fool all along. But now I've become smarter again, thanks to you. Now help me write the right prayer. Correct?
But Monday's class and today's class, it's total contemplation. I think all of us are thinking and thinking and thinking.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. There's a lot here. It's loaded. That's why, sometimes we ask, what is this? We have not moved even from one shloka today. We never look at Bhagavad Gita like that. We have to we're talking about knowledge. In fact, you don't have to study any shloka. If you know it, you can walk away from this class. Nobody can stop you. So that being the case, what is there in us? Krishna has used these words so well, and let's understand what is the thought process behind Krishna, and the rest are details. Swamiji, when he teaches, he will rarely teach this way. This entire Bhagavad Gita and all is only for a few people, but his popular talks are all 1 week camps, 2 week camps, maximum 1 month, and 1 week camp. The lot of mantras will be there. The booklet will be given to you, and then he will say 3 shlokas will be 4 shlokas will be covered. The rest you can study by yourself. Hey, how can I study rest by myself? That means what? You understand what I said. Okay. Did you understand Purusharthas? Did you understand Satyam and Mithya? Did you understand karma properly? Did you understand Atma properly? Did you understand karma yoga properly? That's all it is. Once we understand all these main things, then the Shastram will just come to us like anything. And so, good.
Jaikamarji,
Yeah.
we understand all this when we go through that samsara, pluses and minuses. When we are young, I don't know, I'm talking about me. When I never thought about all this. But now, yes, we pray not for anybody, not for anything. As she said, it's very painful. But when we try to teach our children, whatever age they are, 30, 35, they say, Ma, you are mad. You and your Bhagavad Gita. I don't know whether it happens only in my life with my daughters or it's common with many people. I have no idea. So it's only after the suffering we come to, okay, God, there is nothing in life. It's all mithya. Da, 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 da. Still, it is temporary again. Whatever we learn in Gita, it stays for a little while. Unless I practice it again and again, then we come back to ourselves. It's like monkey tail.
Yeah. So generally what happens when we study Bhagavad Gita is, after some time, the family members will tell us, what they'll tell us? You're not reacting like you used to before. I think, you're not as angry as you were before. They will generally tell you that. We may not know what happened to us, but others can notice the change after some time. Okay. How many of you can had that experience? Yeah. See, so many people are almost the entire class. Other people will come and tell you, you have changed for the better. We may not know it, may or may not know it, but before I know it, somebody else will point it out. This is everybody's experience. So the other experience is different. You are mad, you and your Gita, correct? So that is okay. That is due to some other there are some other things are there, and so that is at work. But it's okay. Someday she'll come and tell you, my God, what is that? Mom, can you tell me a little more about this? And this idea you just told me just now, you said a statement. Do you realize what you said? And what is that again? She will ask you one day. Without your knowledge, you would have said something, and she's going to ask you, what is that? And then she will understand what Gita is someday. So it's a blessing for all of us. And it is not obvious. It's not like having chocolate, putting chocolate in your tongue, and immediately the taste is visible, and so it's not like that. So that is why we have to stay. That is anirvidna chetasa. Don't get discouraged. Uddhared atman atman. That is why Krishna is saying all this. So that, because all these questions we have, and despite this is happening, all that. So that is another prayer. So what one prayer I can have? What is the prayer? All these things are happening. I enjoy Bhagavad Gita, but people in the family are not appreciating this. There's no rule that they should appreciate. Krishna doesn't say there's a rule. Okay, this is not a rule. I somehow make a rule. Oh, I'm studying Bhagavad Gita, therefore everybody should respect me. Not available. Not one iota of respect available. Okay, I am telling you. I keep my mouth shut wherever I go. Nobody, I don't open my mouth. Only in this class, I'm opening my mouth. Okay, don't think I'm outside there. I'm just going all over and all. Nothing. I'm just poop, cup chip. Okay. Why? Because nobody wants to know all these things. And so that's how it will be. I learned to accept that. Hey, Bhagavan, allow me to accept me as I am. All along, I've been pronouncing my accomplishments to everybody. I did this, I did that. Now the same thing. I'm studying Bhagavad Gita. No, don't. There's no need to say all that. Just let it be. Let it soak in first. Let me first understand what Krishna is saying. Then we will worry about others and all that stuff. Yeah. Good. Now, yeah, Meera, go ahead.
One question, Namaste Guruji. One question, what is the cause for avidya? Because everything is, when we analyze and to some extent, we understand that everything is consciousness alone. So where did this originate from then?
Yeah. Where did this originate from? That is the question. Suppose Shastram says, avidya originated because of X. Okay, because of this. And then the next question you will ask is, when did that happen? Or why did that happen? Whatever. Some cause is given. The minute you say cause is given, then the cause must have a beginning, no? Avidya must have a beginning. It created. You said, when you say what caused it, that means there was a time when avidya was not there, and then avidya came. Ignorance came. Now, if avidya came, what must have been there before avidya? What must have been there before avidya came? The opposite of avidya. What is the opposite of avidya?
Vidya.
Vidya was there before avidya. See, ignorance came. Ignorance was born. Suppose I say, before ignorance was born, what was there? Ignorance was not there. If ignorance was not there, okay, slowly, let's go take it slowly. Ignorance was born. Okay. That means before ignorance, I hope, I don't know, this left, right in my screen, I'm not able to. Which is this left? Is this, you're looking at this as left?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, but you are right. We can see it's your right.
It is my right. Okay, it is my right. But I'm acting it as though it is. I want you to see it is your left. So that way, effect is better. So ignorance was born at a particular time. Then, therefore, before ignorance was born, ignorance was not there. Obviously, before a child is born, the child was not there, and so ignorance was not there. When ignorance was not there, means what?
Only knowledge was there.
Knowledge is there. Knowledge is there. And when knowledge is there, how can ignorance come? When knowledge is there, how can ignorance come?
That is avarana.
It can't come. Okay, avarana is there. But when knowledge is there, ignorance can't come. There's no place
You
for
don't
ignorance.
see the knowledge, so you are ignorant.
So when light is there, there's no question of darkness. And so, therefore, my point is, avidya cannot have a beginning. Avidya is anadi. That is what Shastram says. Anadi. Anadi means what? No beginning. Adi. Adihi na vartate yasya. No beginning. And therefore, anadi. Beginningless. Ignorance. You can't even say how it began.
It always existed.
It always existed.
Does
Before-
it, I have that question. Then how does it exist?
How does it exist? It exists like everything else exists. It exists like everything else exists. How does snake exist?
So that means it doesn't exist.
It exists as long as you don't wake up. How long does dream exist?
as long as you sleep. I mean, you're lying down, sleeping.
Correct.
You wake up.
And as you are asleep, a dream will be there. The minute you say, my God, thank God it was a dream. Then,
So,
gone.
so when a person wakes up, for him, dream was there, but it's not real.
Correct. Dream was
It-
mistaken to be absolutely real. At least if I dream and if I knew in dream that dream world is a dream world, right? In dream, I must know that the dream world is a dream world. Then only I can enjoy the dream. Otherwise, it becomes a problem. Same thing. Yajnavalkya says, Janaka says, it's the same thing here. He says it's no different. And waking world, hey, waking world is not the same thing. Why? Because I go to sleep and then I dream, etc. Then I wake up. My friends are the same, my family is there, everybody, whole world is there, my car is still there. Otherwise, my car will go away. What happened? Oh, yesterday's world is different world. Today's world is different. So car is gone. Fortunately, that doesn't happen. Okay. If the car is gone, you got to go to the police station. And so, fortunately, that is there. So it's different, but then it is also similar in certain ways.
That is also true. This is also true. Reality. Astavakra Gita.
Yeah, exactly. Ashtavakra Gita. That is also true. So, how real is this world, waking world, compared to the dream world? That is the question he's asking. How much more real it is? You say it is real. Okay. Then how real it is? Is there something that is more real than this world that you and I are in? That is what he's asking. If there is I am dreaming and then I thought it to be real. Now we all wake up and we say, oh, that was a dream world. That is not a real world. Okay. You wake up and then you say that is not a real world. Is there another world in which I can say, oh my God, this waking world is not as real as I thought it to be? Correct? What a question to ask. What a question to ask. And suddenly you say, oh my, okay, there's something else beyond this. So that's the basic answer, Meera. And then, suppose another question, when did ignorance start? If you ask the question when implies you are taking time as Satyam. Time is given, only then you can ask when. When was I born? Suppose you ask the question. That means what you're telling me, time is given, okay? Time axis is given. And in this time axis, tell me how far I have to go and tell me when I was born, before which I did not exist. Time axis is given. Hey, time itself is mithya. And so the question when itself depends on time, existence of time. When time itself is not there in your deep sleep, in deep sleep you have said goodbye to time. This when question itself cannot be asked. Therefore, these things will come up when we talk about this avidya, etc. Okay.
Thank you, Guruji. That was helpful.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
Beautiful.
Good. So I will see. So questions also changing. Correct. We are now 2 years into Bhagavad Gita. So the type of questions also changing a little bit. And so that's
How
how
about
it works.
telling this one, Jai Kumarji, about when did you know avidya? The knowledge. As soon as you know the knowledge, then you know what you don't know. Right?
Okay.
As soon as vidya comes, then, oh my God, I did not know. I was ignorant. How about analyzing that?
How about analyzing that? Yeah, we can analyze it. It's been 1.5 hours now. So everybody is, the stomachs are all screaming, etc. So we can definitely analyze that. Simple answer to that is that. Yeah, same thing. So my God, I didn't know it. My God, I didn't know it. So the avidya nivritti. So the ignorance, I have become aware that I was ignorant first. First, that must be there, that appreciate, oh yeah, there is something I don't know. And that what I don't know now is so important. It is so important that it is going to make or break my life. Okay, it's such an important thing. And then avidya and nivritti, yeah, now I got it. It's like knowledge. Anytime you say I know something, previously I didn't know. This is also like that. But it's also not like that, because here we are talking about knowledge of the self, not knowledge of anything else which is anatma. So it's a big difference.
Guruji, I'm thinking
Thank you,
about,
Ji. Thank you.
sorry, I'm thinking about a statement you made a few minutes as it's still playing in my head. You talked about the idea of really understanding who you are. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking if people really have that, me and people like Swapna will be totally out of business. Because that understanding of who you are, who you really are, without all the drama, without all the baggages we carry, it's so much peace. You get so much peace, and there's so much clarity. And I think with what we're doing here, the study is all about that, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Anjali is talking about, Anjali is a psychologist, and so is Swapna. And so she's saying if everybody were to know, study the Shastram like this, then psychologists will have no business. That's what she's saying.
We'll be out of it.
Out of business. So you have to think through this. So out of business, but then business is a means or an end. If you say, if everybody is happy and I'm happy, then where is the question of insecurity? And business is supposed to make me secure. But if I'm already secure, then okay, business comes and goes, so it's all right. Business is just a means. It is not an end in itself. So
you took it to a deeper level.
Correct. But yeah, it's a joke. So what happens? Doctors, what happens? Doctors say, everybody is now doing yoga and pranayama and all that. Oh my God. And I think, I have to be careful, because cardiologist means now less heart attacks and all that. So this is the way the doctor thinks. And what can we do? Then you have to tell the doctor, you also start doing yoga and pranayama. Okay. And then you also start attending Jaikmanji's classes. You need that. It's not enough to be just a cardiologist. Good. What else?
I just have one clarification, Guruji. Would it be that when you are curious, you're a mumukshu, and when you are realizing, then you become a jigyasu?
The definition of mumukshu is, in a way what you said is true. So definition of mumukshu means one who wants moksha.
Okay. So curious to know about the way to get liberated or whatever, moksha.
So in our culture, moksha is moksha is understood as something everybody needs. Okay. Therefore, every Hindu is a mumukshu. They want moksha. Whatever you tell them, whatever they do, whatever language they are, they will say, I want moksha. That person is a mumukshu. But then a person who begins to understand and analyze what is it I'm seeking. Moksha is one of the purusharthas. And Atma is involved in this moksha. Moksha is not about going someplace, etc. This kind of analysis happens. Then you want to know more. Then you are a jignasu. A jignasu is one who has recognized that I must know myself, I must know Bhagavan, I must know the nature of the world, and that is what is going to give me moksha. That person is a jignasu. So in your language, curious, I don't know what you mean by curious. Curious means, is it a pursuit of knowledge? Or if you say it is a pursuit of knowledge, then that is a jignasu. But really speaking, we don't use the word jignasu for just curiosity. Curiosity can come and go away. Mumukshu, that's what you were saying. Mumukshu. Yeah. So yeah, curiosity, you can say mumukshu, you can say. Because curiosity will come and go. I'm curious to know what you guys are studying. That means what? You say some things that are very interesting, and so I want to know what it's all about. Okay, good. Then when that curiosity, that is just a time pass. That is just, I'm curious to know what's going on in this channel, etc. That is curiosity. But then when he says, no, this is something I need to spend time on. This is something which is going to change my priorities in life. No, I have to shift a little bit. I have to shift a little. I have to spend a couple of more hours extra in a week, definitely for this. If I say, then I'm a jignasu. Because you're saying, I'm not going to sacrifice these 2 hours in this week. Then you're a jignasu. Nothing can shake you. Nobody can buy you away from this. Correct? That's a jignasu. One who desires to know.
Thank you.
Good.
Guruji, I have a question a little bit off from what we're talking about. This last week, I was listening to Panditji give a lecture, and he was talking about hell. As do we have I couldn't, it wasn't an opportunity for us to ask questions, but I'm wondering if he's using Christian understanding of Hinduism, or is there something like hell in our understanding of what happens after death?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a very big question. I don't know if you want to do it now, if it's a big question.
So short answer to your question is this.
Yeah.
Hell is a place. Is it a place? We understand it as a place, some place, which is not this earth, this world where we live in. Okay, it's not this earth in the solar system. It is something else away from here. And so it's a place that you and I cannot go now, but after that, we may end up there. Like we may end up in heaven. So Christianity talks about hell and heaven.
Right.
Vedas talks about hells and heavens. Hells and heavens. 7 heavens. You know the 7 up? You know what that 7 up is? That 7 up is literally the 7 worlds that Vedas talks about. 7 worlds up. That is the meaning of 7 up. Okay, check it out. Check it out. This what the 7 up means, what they say. Okay, but this is my understanding of 7 up. 7 up means you want to go to the 7 worlds which are out there, up there, which are much better than this earth. Then Vedas talks about 7 down. 7 down. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Mahatala. Oh, I even remember this name. And so that is the 7 worlds down, 7 down. So depending on my karma, I can go to any of these worlds. That's what Vedas also talks about. So in fact, if there was anything, Abrahamism is the source of Abrahamism is Vedas only. Yeah, literally. Unless somebody tells you that there is something called heaven, you cannot figure it out. Think about it. Just think about it later on after this class. Think about it. Unless somebody told you about a world called heaven, which is not here, which is away somewhere, which you will go after death, you cannot figure it out. You cannot even guess it. Think about it. Think about it. You can't even guess it. You can guess a lot of things, but you can't guess this one. That after that, I'm going to heaven or hell. This somebody has to come and say, some book has to come and say, only then you can figure it out. Okay, so back to the question. So they talk about 1 heaven and 1 hell. We talk about many heavens and many hells. And besides 7 up, there is Indraloka, this loka, that loka, any number of worlds. Our Shastram says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter means what? You can go to any world based on your karma, and you will enjoy the world. And Krishna is going to say later, what about after your punya balance gets exhausted? What will happen? Like going to Hawaii, you can. How long can you stay in Hawaii?
Come back.
You're limited. Some time only you can stay, and then you come back to some other life. Like that, it's going to be. So they talk about eternal heaven. We talk about what? non-eternal heaven. No heaven can be eternal. Why? Because heaven is also a place. A place is an object, and no object is eternal. Anityam. They talk about Nityam heaven. We talk about Anityam heaven. Complete opposites. Equal as long as you stick with the word heaven. The minute you understand heaven and what the Shastram says, then it becomes opposites. Nityam, eternal heaven. We say there is no such thing as eternal heaven. Only thing eternal in this world is you, Atma. Nothing else is eternal. Nothing else can be eternal. If you say, I entered heaven on so-and-so date, you will have to say, I exited heaven on so-and-so date. Entering will be accompanied by exiting. That is our Shastra. Correct. Therefore, eternal heaven, eternal hell cannot be acceptable in Vedas. Although Vashishta, Dvaita, etc., the Dvaita philosophies will talk about eternal heaven, eternal life with Vishnu. I will after death, because Vishnu is so happy with me in this life, he is going to keep me with him in heaven. That is there. That view is there, very much there in our. That's why I say the source of Abrahamism is Vedas. Vedas has everything in it. Okay, but what they won't highlight is, hey, after the punya account gets exhausted, this sojourn, this place in heaven, this stay in heaven has to end. Because a lot of questions it arises. When you go to heaven, are you going to have a body? Are you going to have an identity? Is it going to be like this identity? What kind of identity is it? What about God's identity? What is the relationship between this identity and that identity in heaven? All these problems will start happening. We have to answer all these questions. So Shastram is not opposed to heaven or hell. No problem. You create your own heaven also. Shastram says, go ahead, create your own heaven. You will go to that heaven. But it is all anityam. Anityam means impermanent. It is a product of time and space. Anything in time and space is anityam.
So Guruji, that your answer has raised a lot of questions in my mind, and I would really like to discuss it either in this class later on or talking to you separately, because it just a little synopsis of what is the idea that karma is linked to heaven or hell. But in my mind, I'm thinking that karma is linked to yourself moving into the state where you're, in simplistic terms, where you're joined with the Paramatma. So is there like a dual track? It's a whole new understanding. I'm thinking about that. I have a lot of confusion about that now.
Absolutely. It will raise a lot of questions. It should raise a lot of questions, and you have rightly pointed that out. So yeah, we'll have an opportunity to talk in the class, as well as, of course, if you want to talk offline, that is also fine. But yeah, this is the kind of thinking that's so important, actually, because it has the capacity, it has the ability to, it will reveal to us that we've been believing a lot of things which are not right.
Yeah.
That is what will happen if we start analyzing, and therefore the analysis is important also.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're so grateful to have you, because we can have these questions with you and you can create some clarity for us.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you.
Grateful to have you.
Jay Kumarji, I know it's too late.
Yeah.
Just a short statement. About a few years ago, during the Christmas time, one of our Christian friend here, they had invited for a group of people for the dinner. There also one priest or padri came from church. He prayed like this one, and afterwards he said, you need to be true Christian to go to heaven. And then I said, Father, I'm not Christian. Do you mean to tell that I can't go to heaven? That question, I said, I'm a good person. I believe in karma, good karma. Do you mean to tell that I don't go to heaven? No, his answer was very smart. He said, you're a Hindu. You go to moksha, you get the moksha, not the heaven.
Correct.
That's
That's
exactly he told.
It's a very smart answer.
Yes, yes.
That says
Thank you.
you're going to get moksha, which is not like our heaven. It's something inferior, and he didn't use the word inferior, but that's another difference to answer Anjali's question. Another difference, which is difference is what? We don't say that. Sanatana Dharma doesn't say you must be a Hindu and all that. There's no word called Hindu in the Vedas, in fact. Okay. And it also constantly talks about Dharma and Vidya and Avidya and all that. It doesn't say anything about your belief. And what you believe in Christ. That's why we don't have a problem with somebody believes in Christ, because we are ourselves have so many gods we believe in. And so you bring one more Christ. And this joke, this what is it? Trevor Noah. You should all see this 10-minute snippet of Trevor Noah. Absolutely amazing. You have to watch the 10 minutes. And have you seen? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, some of you, 3 or 4 of you are not. And he says the British, when they came to India, and they say, tush, 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 he shoots. Hey, come on, guys, listen. And then nobody's listening because they don't know English, And, come on, guys, listen. And they say, what? What happened? Oh, we are the British. The Queen has sent us here. What? Okay, welcome. Make yourself comfortable. Okay. Then what? Then, oh, we are bringing Christianity. We have to love Christ. What? No, Christ. And he says, yeah, good. Enjoy. Have fun with Christ. We also have many gods here. He does an excellent spoof on this. And that is the truth also. We have enough here. You are giving one more God, fine. You be happy with your God. We'll be happy with our God. Okay. So Vedas has no problem with any of these things. Because everything is anityam. Anityam. You bring one more anityam. Latest iPhone. Okay, if you find it useful, use it. But it is anityam. That's all. It can give you sorrow also. If you are not careful, it can make you sad. The day it stops working. The day it comes with a blue screen, then it's very. So anyway, that's the thing. But yeah, good discussion. Thanks for all the questions. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. And a point Vijayji made here in the chat window is, we want moksha because we want to get away from all the heavens and hells. That is the statement he made. So that's an interesting one, right?